Hello, everybody. We are aligned, and today we're going to talk about the alignment elixir, which, yeah, we're live, and we're going to talk about the alignment elixir today. I'm Amanda Beth, an intuitive healer and wellness coach, and I'm here today to share some really cool stuff about wellness, but let's look at it more as being alchemized alignment. And alchemy is, that blending of things together, taking things that feel so impossible and making the best out of it. So we're going to sip on a blend in a smoothie that I'm going to talk about to blend those to get you rooted in presence and to lift you up into your purpose. So as always, we're going to talk about just doing a little bit of grounding here. Take a couple of nice deep breaths. We're here, we're live. Technology is catching up with me. I've made some changes, so we're doing better. And yeah, taking that moment to be grounded, to be thankful, and to be grateful that I have an opportunity to come live to you. You can catch it in the replay. We're going to delve into some theta stuff here in a bit. When that comes up, say yes out loud, write it in the comments. Say yes when you're watching this in a replay as well. That energy work is going to be there for you. So let's get grounded, get centered in this today. So, yeah, just a couple deep breaths. Because here in the Midwest, it's a little bit gloomy today. We're kind of entering into that fall weather where the mornings are crisp, the sun is coming up a little bit slower, gives us a slower start to the day. So I don't feel that hustle and bustle, and it feels like this is kind of a calm part of it. And so I'm really excited to share with you. What I'm sharing today comes from a question that was posed during a podcast. So if your wellness journey was a smoothie, what would you blend in it and what would you call it? Yes, I have the perfect thing. Absolutely perfect thing to put together for this. And then after I jotted down my little notes on my index cards, I love index cards when I'm on podcasts. And it's like, this is the embodiment of what it is I talk about, what I believe, the things that I feel that every one of us as souls having a human experience, what we really need to have and pull together to be the most effective in this time here on earth. And the more I kept thinking about this after the show, I thought, this really is an awesome way of explaining what I do. So, my alignment elixir would be built with healthy boundaries. Your boundaries are that foundation, it's the base of everything you do. You build these boundaries. They say, every time you get angry, it's likely an indication that you've had a boundary that's been violated. And going through many of my life experiences, I realized that many of the times that I felt taken advantage of or not respected, those were boundary violations. But one of the first boundaries I needed to build was my own boundaries. I needed to learn to respect myself. And once I was able to respect myself, I was able to put these boundaries in place and teach other people how it is to be treated. And so when I respected myself enough, I put those boundaries out. And then I was reteaching the people in my immediate circle of what my limits were. Yes, I'm happy to help you, but I'm not going to work harder than you are. Um, just kind of one thing. So once you learn these boundaries, and putting in boundaries is not being ridiculous. There are limits. We have those limits, and we need to, put that boundary out there and let other people know. But you first have to give yourself those boundaries. What things are you willing to do, and are you willing to look at? And where are your limits? Because If you're watching this, you're probably one of those people who are caretakers and caregivers and empaths. And we do for so many other people. And we're always putting ourselves on the bottom of that list. And we don't respect ourselves. Bring yourself up, take care of yourself, and then you can take care of others. And you're going to do it with so much more ease and grace when you've met your basic boundaries and you keep those in place. Okay, so that would be the base layer in my elixir. Going on, we would talk about forgiveness because I think forgiveness is a huge ingredient as we go through day to day. One of the biggest things that I learned in my process was being able to forgive myself. I don't think that I set out with intention to do malice or harm to anyone, primarily to myself. And I needed to forgive myself for allowing those things to happen, forgive myself for not having those boundaries in place and keeping them in place. So as we go through, that forgiveness becomes your healing ingredient that really smooths that resistance, your ability to have resistance or to be resilient, to come back from it. When we stop carrying all that weight of old stuff, when you're carrying that weight, you're obligated to the past of things that went before you. And so you're constantly looking behind you. You cannot move into the future when you're busy looking behind you. So think about that forgiveness. Do you forgive yourself for allowing things to get out of kilter, get out of whack, to not be at the top of your game? And then we're going to forgive the other people who may not have understood what you needed from them. They may not have understood what their limits were and how maybe their limits interfered with them. So just forgive them. And then also forgiving your higher power, God, creator, universe, spirit, source, whatever that is. Giving that forgiveness to understand that, yes, there is a higher power beyond you, but not anything is all knowing at all times of everything. And forgiving your relationship that you had there. That's going to be a really nice layer in that smoothie as well. And then we're going to come in with some unconditional love. Unconditional love is the soul sweetener. That's going to be the sweetness in this process of this elixir is to have unconditional love. You can give unconditional love to anyone at any time without asking their permission. You're just giving freely of love to surround them and to surround yourself, giving yourself unconditional love. It doesn't mean you have to agree with them. It doesn't mean anything. You just wouldn't. I find myself when I really just don't know what else to do, I'm at my wit's end. The Ho'oponopono prayer comes in that unconditional love, and that prayer is the I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me. And you're giving love. You just give love to the situation. And that unconditional love can be taken, it can be accepted, it can be brushed off, whatever you have done your part. And so that's just gonna to sweeten the pot. Um, and then I think the next layer in the smoothie really needs to be a huge variety of self care. This is going to be the rainbow of nutrients for your body, mind, and soul. So, what do you do for self care? And are you including that? And are you including that every day in your smoothie? We talk a lot about meditation, and I'm the one that says meditation is not a pose in silence. It's a matter of quieting the mind. And what do you do for that? Do you do some adult coloring? Um, do you crochet? I love adult coloring books. Well, they're just coloring books. They don't have to have the word. Just do some coloring, do some things, do some crochet. Have that quiet mind space for yourself. Make sure you hydrate, you get rest, and listen to your body. Your body has some really good tips if you will just listen to your body. That makes up our self-care layer, and if you can think of anything else in there that you need to be doing for self-care, and sometimes self-care is a matter of waking up and actually getting out of bed. It may be washing your face, doing some of the basic care things. Sometimes we are in a position where some of those basics are really difficult to do. And so give yourself credit for all the things that you do. That, I showered today. I got out of bed today. I drank some water today. I ate something that didn't come out of a package today. Those things, and celebrate that self care that you're able to give yourself. And know that some days it's really hard, but you need to do at least one thing a day for yourself. We're going to follow all of this up with some gratitude. Of course, you're not going to get out of alive without me talking about gratitude. This is your energetic activator. By having gratitude for everything that you have, you will have more. When you don't have gratitude for things, the things that you don't show that respect and gratitude to will soon be gone. But what you show gratitude for, you will have more. So I am grateful for my opportunities to come live to you, to reach out and to hopefully encourage everyone to vibrate a little bit higher and to look forward to tomorrow and to find the goodness in everything. Find that tiny silver lining and looking for that positivity and being grateful for all of that. And then we're going to add some fresh air and aligned momentum to stir up this smoothie. Can you imagine if you have all those great ingredients in a smoothie and now we're going to stir those with the aligned momentum? Depending on what you've put into your smoothie, are you going to stir this in a clockwise motion or a counterclockwise motion? Clockwise is believed to bring things to you, counterclockwise is to send them out into the world. And so, what are you going to do with that? Grounding is also an important part of this. That grounding is going to be the cup or the container that you put all of your ingredients. That grounding is the glue that holds it all together. So as you're pouring all of these ingredients into your nice grounding cup, think of that. Think about being grounded, connecting with Mother Earth, going into nature, doing whatever it is that you need to do to get grounded so that you have all of these ingredients and you can hang on to them. And then let's do a big old sprinkle of love. Some sprinkles of love. They're shiny, they're rainbowy, they're bright, they're sparkly. They're celebrating life's sweetness. And if it's me, it's probably a little bit of sass too. So do that. And I don't think that this smoothie container needs to have any lid. You need to let the world see you and your well being in the many colors that you have brought together into your wellness smoothie. So, this is why I'm going to call this the alignment elixir. You can sip the blend that roots you in presence and lifts you into purpose. I just think that is so cool. So, so cool. Um, so hopefully let me know what you think about this. Let me know how you would put it together in your smoothie. And if you're not feeling grounded, let's do a little bit of theta here. Let's let's remove the obligation to stay and thrive in chaos. Um, for me, I have worked in chaos for so much of my life. I've worked in crisis. Some of these are habitual, some of these are trauma functioning, but we don't have to stay married to it. We can be okay being grounded. So we're going to remove that obligation to continue to function in chaos, to need that chaos at the expense of yourself. A little chaos is fun every once in a while, but let's remove the obligation to stay in chaos at the expense of yourself. We're going to remove whatever prevents you from letting go of that dopamine rush that you get there. We're also going to remove the obligation to stay in that negativity, to to get sucked into that negativity, that mass consciousness, all of those things that really bring us down and keep us from staying grounded. So let's remove those things. Let's also remove that notion that if you set boundaries, you're not going to be loved. Okay, so remove the obligations that boundaries will create a distance from those that you love that affects your ability to be love and to love. Um, and let's remove, we talked about forgiveness, and a lot of people get all kind of hung up on this whole forgiveness thing. Um, Forgiving is not forgetting. When we do forgiveness, we're letting go of carrying that emotional baggage. It does not change what happened, but it removes the emotional part of it. Um, and doesn't um, it doesn't condone the pain that was inflicted. So, but it removes that. So let's remove that emotional trauma and allow yourself to understand what it is to forgive and to be forgiven. We'll download and create alignment with that definition once again for anybody who's not had that work done before. Um, and also, let's remove that it's a sin to be fully seen in your wellness journey. It's safe. It's safe to be seen. Let's download that. So these other downloads here, I know we're adding a whole bunch of work to do all at once, my goodness, but we're going to download that you know how to be grounded in the expansiveness and have that at the same time. Those are mutually inclusive, to be grounded and to be expansive, that you can rise without resistance. You can have plenty of resilience, um, and that your self care is enough and that you are enough. Okay. So let's remove that self care is a sin, because it's not. It's not. Okay. If you would like those, just say yes out loud. And in the comments, catch it on replay, hashtag replay yes. Like that work, just say yes. And all the forgiveness that goes with that as well. The chaos one. Yeah, it feels like there's a few people not wanting to give up on that chaos. Really, there is life after chaos. It's okay. So, yeah, those were some big changes. You may be feeling those over the rest of today. And certainly, if you have any questions or concerns, absolutely get a hold of me. Contact me through amandabethhealing.com. Backslash link tree will get you to the proper social that you want to connect with me. Schedule a discovery call. We'll talk a little bit more about it. But this aligned elixir smoothie, you can revisit this at any point in time. And I'm going to invite you to make your own smoothie. I actually have created kind of a PDF worksheet for you that has some steps in it to guide you through making your own wellness smoothie and how that fits in with you. So you can certainly share those in the comments. You can send them to me once you make it. But there is a link for that as well. We'll get that put up here on the screen so you can make your own wellness smoothie and put your own ingredients on that and see what extras that you'll put on the top of that. What will you use for sprinkles on your smoothie?